Good morning. Who's friggin' awake? I'm not. How are you guys holding up? I'm pretty tired, but I'm here. I'm here for you. Our special guest, I know he's tired. We're both tired. We're gonna bring the thunder regardless. How you guys doing? Uh Den, can you ban this Matt Rubin guy? Thank you. Appreciate that. What's going on, everyone? Cutthroat. First of all, once again, Packers, welcome back to Collector. Curb Stomp, same with you. Fortnite talk. I am here, Jay. Have you seen the new Fortnite stuff? It's awesome. Blades kill fast. Yes. Played 2 matches this morning. Cookie on me. It was cool. Yeah, I fought this big boss by myself in the sky. I did not beat him, but I took him on. And I got this one-shot kills like devil mask thing, which was a purple. Gonna be an interesting season. It's gonna be interesting. It looks very cool. We have OG Fortnite coming December 6th. So I'm kind of wondering if we're going to get a battle pass for that as well. Either way, I'm in because I think the game's completely awesome. Batstan is here. Den of Geek, Matt Rubin, special guest. Good buddy Josh is here backstage just warming up. Look at this guy in here with the 10. Beautiful Sunday morning, everyone. This microphone. Let's have some coffee and fun. Love you too, buddy. How you doing? You let me know what days are good for you for Warzone, Chad. I'm gonna schedule that tonight or tomorrow. You let me know what's good. The ad that got banned sounds like the COD that failed. Yeah, I apologize again. That just shows how easy that you think Desert Bus is, and I took my eyes off it for just a few short seconds. Derailed the entire trip. So son of a lips. Doesn't matter. It's 1-1. We'll get it next year. For sure. Let me lock this mic down. Raj is here. What's up, dude? Thank you for the warm welcome. Are we ready to get into Electronic Gaming Monthly? We are in issue 37. 37. Let's bring JP in here to help me co-host. Yo.
Hello, all.
We are here. We're here to talk issue 37. We're both weak and tired, but we're gonna push through.
Good morning.
This anything that you see in this EGM that you guys want to talk about, make sure you bring it up to Josh and me. So what's up, dude? What you been doing the last 12 hours?
12 hours? I got a really cool victory on Warzone. The quad squad. That was pretty fun. Sniping. Got the last kill.
Very cool. Good job, dude. Good job.
Double OGP.
So you're up playing some COD?
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
I got some rest though, but I'm ready to go.
Dude, I gotta do some like kind of super install here. I don't know. I'm trying to balance, like, I want to get Red Dead on the computer again, but then Call of Duty's like 3,000 gigs. Maybe I'll just have to do Warzone and just download Warzone kind of thing.
Yeah, that's probably your best bet.
Yeah, Matt. Did you see Godzilla walking on the map though? Not in the game, but in the intro. So I think he's gonna be like some kind of world boss. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Gonna be interesting. All right, let's crack this bad boy open. So this is 37, issue 37 from August 1992. Woo! Good year. Still one of the best years in gaming.
Just like last time, let me know what page, and should be good to go.
You got it, dude. Yeah. We're just cracking through some of the ads here, and we can see the table of contents. Once again, Street Fighter remains absolutely dominant, and kind of curious too when we're going to see Mortal Kombat, because we haven't even heard a peep, not one peep of Mortal Kombat yet, which is strange that we're almost halfway through the year of 1992 and nothing. Weird.
Get over here.
Get over here this minute. All right, so that we still got what ad is this? Oh, Sears. Page 7.
Okay.
Sears Funtronics. Oh my god, I forgot I don't even think I remember Sears having ads. Is that what this is? It is. Weird.
Save $10 on Super Off
We
Road.
got another Raj subbing. Thank you, Raj number 2 for the sub.
Raj number
Appreciate it.
two.
All right, we're on page 8, Josh. We're gonna
All
tag
right.
team this bad boy.
I gotta learn to read.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. The system war heats up. All right, this is Ed is back in the editorial seat. If you were one of the unfortunate group of players who bought either the Genesis or the Super Nintendo game system last year, you probably are not going to be too glad to hear that your $160 or $200 investment in a system has just been cut in half. Yes, the system war is going. What is going great guns? What the hell does that mean? And neither Sega nor Nintendo will give the other company any chance to get a sales edge. Over the past 6 months, the system prices have changed so often that retailers no longer have any idea as to what the price is to put on their inventory. As soon as the prices are changed, they have to be changed again. Well, let me tell you something from being in the future here. Get used to that because it just gets worse from here. So there you go. I'm going to give Chad a heart over here. There we go. Perfect. However, it now looks like the prices have gone about as low as they can get, as the last price cuts necessitate major changes in the system configuration. Now, with only one controller and no pack-in cart, the systems have apparently reached rock bottom. Okay, I'm going to ask Josh this, and I'm going to ask you guys in the chat. Josh, are you a day one system guy? I know you just recently got back into it.
No, not notoriously, but I did get like the last consoles that I did get early on, and that was the PS3, 360, and the Wii, but
Right.
not day one.
So, like, what's going on here with the price wars? You'd be able to hold off, like, a couple months, or maybe not a couple months, like a year into the life cycle to get it for a bit cheaper.
Me, I just wasn't day one. I did like my Wii is still first gen. The PS3 that I had was the good one, the 60 gig with the front HD ports and the
Mhm.
little flap. The 360 I wound up getting I think the red leaded death, so I had to return that or whatever, but just early on for me.
I'm a sucker. I got to go day one, buddy. I have to. I got to do it. But I mean, if you can wait, like I feel like waiting a year and a half is a long time, especially if you've
Oh, for
got
sure.
huge, amazing games that are coming out on Super Nintendo and Genesis, right? Um, Now, like PS5 and Xbox Series X, I could probably wait. I didn't get my Series X until 3 years after it
Yeah.
was out. But anyway, just curious. Batstan says, nope, so you can wait. How do we feel the bus ride? Where were you? You were in the Discord. What are you talking about? You were away eating cookies. Speaking moistly, good morning. Well, I was distracted. And yeah, that's right. I was distracted by well, it wasn't Lisa's fault. It was just she said there's fresh made cookies. And then the next thing you know, the bus was stopped. I don't know, man. Get it. Let it
Totally.
go. Let it go. Uh While not great for stores, the players who sat on the fence thinking about upgrading are enjoying every minute of the war. This Christmas shopping season, when about 60% of toys are sold, should prove to be one of the best ever for retailers. They will sell a lot of systems, but not make a lot of money. Still, don't feel too sad for the poor store owners, as everything they will lose on the sale with the system they will make up for with the games. There are not too many people who believe that a cartridge is really worth $60 to $80. Camerica, for one, has proven that their Aladdin project, we just saw that, that's crazy, that their Aladdin project, yeah, you got it right there. Albeit 8-bit cards can be sold for less than $20 Unfortunately, there are losers to this new 16-bit war. With the Super Nintendo at $100, how many older 8-bit NES will Nintendo sell at 79? The handwriting was on the wall about the eventual demise of the NES, though, as most of the licensees have already switched over their R&D efforts to the Super Nintendo game production. All right, I'm going to tag Josh in here.
Oh
Last
no!
bit of this guy. Let's go.
All right, Sega has to be smiling though. And they have lowered their prices to the point where the NES users now can inexpensively upgrade to another system. Many of those will switch from Nintendo to Sega. Another nice point is that the price war is spreading over into the portable area. Dun, dun, dun. This
Uh-oh.
time, this time it is Sega versus Atari. Sega's Game Gear is coming down to $99, and Atari is rumored to be bringing the Lynx down around the $80 price point. Who is going to win this latest war? It is quite possible that nobody will really ever know. Sales figures are provided by the companies and aren't audited. Nintendo claimed to have sold over 2 million systems in 3 months last year. Few analysts
Analyst.
analysts believe that number and place the actual amount as about half that amount. Now they are saying they will sell 6 million more Super Nintendo systems this year. Sega is stating that they will double their user base. Who is right? We'll have to wait until after Christmas to see. Until then, the one thing that we can count on is that the real winner will be the game players, as for the first time in gaming history. The new systems are actually priced at a point where almost everybody can afford to upgrade.
Yeah, so there will be some people that bought systems back then. You know, it always happens. They always get mad. You know, I've seen it a million times. They come into the store and they're like, "Oh man, the PlayStation's only like $200 now. I paid it was 500."
Yep.
Yeah, dude, but that was like 2 years ago. Like that's the way technology doesn't appreciate ever. It just depreciates. So of course it's going to be less. But interesting. Yeah, listen, I'll just talk about Desert Bus one last time. It was those cookies. And by the way, I ate a lot of them last night and it was all worth it. So there you go. Oh, who's the that's Ted DiBiase. What the hell game? Oh, this is Game Boy. Ted DiBiase, Macho Man's like, buddy, like, can you be a little more gentle? Look at him. Oh my god. It's embarrassing. Okay, we're on page 12. Again, anyone who wants to read along, it's a lot easier if you go to retromags.com, support those guys. You can download the file here. And we are on page 12, issue 37. Yeah, you got 200 worth of use. 100%, Jed. 100%. That's like only like people I think that are, just out there are going to go back into a retailer. And I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I've had to deal with it where they're like, oh, they try and bring the receipt in like a year later because the system's on sale or whatever. And they're like, oh, I want to get the $50 back. It's like, that's not how life works, mate. Like, Street Fighter. Oh my God, Josh. It's all about Street Fighter. The last like 5 or 6 issues.
Hmm.
We got a Street Fighter 2 update here. So this is from Gary Tobin from Clinton, Oklahoma.
Yep.
My favorite game in the arcades is Street Fighter 2. Once I heard that it would be coming out for the Super Nintendo, I decided then and there that I had to have it, even though I'm a devoted Genesis user. I'm prepared to go out and buy a Super NES just for the cartridge. What I need to know from you, Street Fighter 2 authorities, is if what Quarterman said back in May will happen soon. I will believe that I could get a better deal if I wait until the Super Nintendo system comes with Street Fighter 2. When will this happen? I don't know. Do you want to read the next one? I got to try and fix my mic here.
Which one? Just let me know what the
Just the
next
one
one.
right below it. You can
Zeke
read Zeke and the
Hughes.
one below it, the Adam one as well. I'm gonna try and adjust this here.
Okay.
Thanks, dude.
Zeke Hughes, Lower Lake, California. I have heard several rumors that perhaps you can confirm or deny. The first is that Capcom of Japan is working on a new 32-bit Street Fighter 3 game. Is this the same Street Fighter 3 arcade that Quarterman talked about in July? Did you get a sneak peek of the game in development on one of your many trips to Japan, or is it already out on test in another country? Some friends have told me that they have already played Street Fighter 3. Could this be true? And next up is Adam Hollins, Norcross, GA. Is that Georgia?
I think so, yeah.
Some of my friends have already purchased the Japanese Super Famicom version of Street Fighter 2. How many of his friends do you think actually do that? They are telling me there is a
None.
trick in the game where you can play character versus character, not the bosses though, as in the Champion Edition. Is this really possible? Will it be in the US version of the game? I called the Street Fighter 2 hotline and they say that the character versus character isn't possible. Who is right?
That's Mark from LA, California. What's up, Benjamin? How you doing, buddy? Street Fighter 2 for PC Engine is pretty thick. Does that mean it's good? I don't know how they could do it, dude, with two buttons. I think that's one reason it never came officially to the NES. Like, how could you play a 6-button fighter? I guess you'd have to choose, right? One kick and one punch. I don't know. It seems pretty out there, though. Play character versus character with a secret trick in the domestic version of Street Fighter 2. See page 54. I don't believe it, EGM. I don't believe it. Oh my God, look at this diatribe. Rumors, rumors, rumors. Many times it's hard to tell what is a really hot. Oh, this mic is a really hot news item and what is just hearsay. With the popularity of this super hot game, there certainly has been no shortage of rumors, but even master journalists like Quarterman can occasionally make mistakes. To get the straight scoop, we went right to Capcom's public relations manager, Lori Thornton, for the real answers to make this editorial reaction. There will not be a repackaging of the Super NES with Street Fighter 2 as the new pack-in cartridge. Discussions between Capcom and Nintendo regarding this subject have never taken place. Ooh. Two, actually. Capcom USA currently has no plans to license Street Fighter 2 for the Sega Genesis or the Atari Lynx. Well, we know that changes for Genesis, but poor Lynx owners, they can't get a break, man. And three, Capcom states that the Street Fighter 3 game mentioned in Quarterman's July column was actually a Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, erroneously named by the arcade owners. Bootlegs. Four. As to the character versus character trick in Street Fighter 2, Lori has confirmed that the character versus character trick on page 54 of this issue that works in the Japanese Super Famicom version of Street Fighter 2 will be retained in the US version of Street Fighter 2. One final point, as you know by now, the Shenlong trick published in our April Fools was an April Fool's joke. Shenlong doesn't actually exist. Whew. Crazy. Yeah, we would have to wait. I think the Genesis, yeah, Genesis got Champion Edition next, and that's when you
Yeah,
could
I believe
play
so.
the first time you could play character versus character. But I get why it's a big deal, right? If you got some player that's like Guile and totally
Yeah.
dominating, maybe you want to be Guile and dominate him right back. All right, you're up. Kudos from overseas.
All right. Tell your readers to stop moaning. You don't know how lucky you are in America. Most of the cards come out months before they do here in England, and when we do get them, they cost twice the price you pay for them. It is just not fair. It is even worse in the rest of Europe, especially Austria. You write a great magazine, and even though it is very hard to find over here, and it is usually at least a month old, we still find it is easily worth the search. Keep up the good work. Philip Corbett, Kenilworth, England. Uh,
Interesting.
Want to read that last part or?
Thanks for the compliment, Philip. Have you considered getting a subscription? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. We send all of our overseas subs out airmail, and you would get the hottest game info super fast. Okay, we are. Oh my goodness, page 16. Well, I cutthroat, yeah, but I mean, I understand, right? The best gaming magazine, and you get it months later. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the news is already dated, right? Because when they write it, it's a couple months before they publish it. So I get it. But yeah, just subscribe to EGM. That's all. That's all you got to do. Uh, Go ahead. You're up, buddy. Whatever one you want. We don't have to
Uh,
read all of them. If you just want to pick one,
I'll
is
start
it?
with the top there. So EGM and Sega rule at CES. I had the great privilege to attend the summer CES, and it was incredible. I was expecting a great show, but what I saw blew me away. The largest crowd was around the Sega booth, and more specifically, the Sega CD. The area that Nintendo set aside for the public was large, but uneventful. They had their old games out, and what was new was not spectacular. However, after checking out the game companies, I wanted to see what the magazines were doing. One wasn't even there. The second was dead, with only salespeople drinking coffee. The third was okay, but yours was a trip. It took me 10 minutes just to get to the counter for your free magazines, and the line to play your two Street Fighter II champion arcade games was at least 50 feet long. Thanks, guys, for going all out for us consumers. John Carlton, Iowa City,
Can you
Iowa.
can you imagine going all the way to the Consumer Electronics Show just to stand in line to play Street Fighter at the EGM booth?
Yeah,
I mean, I would like do a game or two if it was accessible, but to sit there and wait in line, I don't think I could do that. In Dark Love, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Was the first issue of EGM PC published approximately around 2005 or 2008? That I do not know. I'm sorry, I cannot answer that.
I'm going to guess '05.
Yeah. Yeah, I almost forgot they did that. They do a tiny bit of PC back then, but not very much. But hey, welcome to the stream.
Cookie privileges revoked.
Uh-oh. Morning, everyone. Just checking in from Vegas. I hitched a ride the rest of the way while you all slept on the bus being towed back home. You all missed out on all the parties. P.S. Lisa is grounded. I told her that your cookie privileges are revoked. Well, it sucks. Joke's on you, mister. I ate a lot of them cookies yesterday. I drowned my sorrows in peanut butter cookies.
I still haven't gotten back yet. The jet lag.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Josh is actually in Vegas right now. There you go. The CES was awesome. I just got home and it was beyond my greatest expectations. Your booth was great too. What last thing? I brought along a camera, hope to get a snapshot of Sushi X so I could finally unveil his true identity of the guy. However, he's as quick and elusive as he is cooked out to be. What? First of all, I asked the lady at the booth where he was at. All she said is that he could be nowhere. He could be anywhere at
Anywhere.
the show. So I went to the most likely place, the Street Fighter 2 game station. There I saw a Japanese guy kicking butt in Street Fighter 2. Come on. Who else could it have been? By the way, this is Scott Fox letter. Uh by the time I got close enough to take a picture, he had disappeared. He must have seen me coming or something. Very sneaky, Sushi X, but I have to warn you, I haven't given up yet. Says Scott Fox from Minoka, Illinois. Huh. I guess this is all CES. We'll just finish the last couple here. So you're up. The middle one.
At the top,
Yeah.
Paul Bradenson, Madison, Wisconsin. Okay. First of all, I'd like to shake the person's hand who decided to have this year's CES open to the public. I was there firsthand, and let me tell you, it was the most outrageous gaming experience of my life. The Sega booth was the best around, especially getting to see Batman for the Sega CD. Sonic 2 was awesome. Nintendo was okay. But I didn't like the idea of not being able to get to all of their booths. Why did they have them roped off? Hey, where were the magazines? I found yours just by following the Street Fighter 2 lines. Thanks for the free mags. I really appreciate getting your July issue weeks before it hits the newsstands. What I really liked was the fact that all of your editors were there to talk to us. It looked like you really went all out to be there for the consumers. Thanks again, Paul Radenson, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hundreds of players waited patiently to get a chance to take on the EGM editors Ken Williams, pictured in the Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. Yeah, they're like friggin' celebrities there, man. It's so cool. We were very pleased to meet all of the great players that came out to the Consumer Electronics Show. We had tons of magazines, t-shirts, Super Nintendo, Street Fighter cartridges, and posters, and lots of other goodies to give away. However, what is a booth without a game to play? Thanks to the kind people at Capcom who loaned us the Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition arcade machines and donated the carts and posters. We were able to really go all out for the consumers at the Consumer Electronics Show, and judging by all of the positive responses from everybody who wrote, faxed, and called in to tell us about their experiences, we are very pleased to hear that you all had a good time. After all, it is consumers who buy the games and the magazines, and we couldn't pass up a great opportunity to say thanks for your support. If you thought this was a big event, it's cut off. Wait until you see what we do next year. Very good. Very good. All right, we're skipping Shenlong here. We got to let's get to the reviews.
Okay.
Page 18.
Right.
Axley. Huh. Editor's Choice Gold. Okay, so you can choose whatever editor you would like, Josh. And I'll continue with Steve. We'll see what Steve has been up to this last month. What a mess. The top dog lived through the terror of the CES, but with dozens of games coming, Steve's short on sleep. There you go. Who'd you choose?
Let's go with Ed because I see the jet lag.
Yeah.
So Ed got a double dose of the new games by visiting the Tokyo Toy Show, hot on the heels of the CES. Oi, the jet lag.
Poor Ed. Poor Ed. So Axley is a shooter, I believe. Yes. For Super Nintendo by Konami, and Steve gave it a 9. Axley takes shooters to all new heights with play mechanics and spectacular graphics melded into a single interstellar blastathon. The game utilizes a wide variety of Super NES special features and provides a wild array of weaponry in both the pseudo first person and side scrolling perspectives. Absolutely incredible.
It got some pretty high scores there. So Ed gave it a 9 as well, and as you see below that, Martin a 9 and Sushi X an 8.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow. This is the game that all shooter fans will want to have. Spectacular, and I mean spectacular. Mode 7 effects, along with huge, intimidating bosses. The graphics are about the best the Super NES can do, and there is no trace of slowdown. It's a tough game on its hardest difficulty level.
Amazing. I can confidently say I have not played Axley, but I remember it. But, my friend, what I do not remember is Dino City.
It sounds familiar, but I definitely haven't seen this one.
Timmy and Jamie are two sweet little kids that are in a heap of trouble. Anyway, Dino City by IREM for the Super Nintendo. Steve, not so hot over here with a 6. Although this game enjoys some of the nicest Super NES wallpaper yet, the theme is less than exhilarating while the pace remains stuck in molasses. It does possess many of the proven play concepts that have sent titles like Mario to the moon, but the overall execution of this title was cooler than it should be. Isn't cooler mean good, Steve? Dang boomers.
Ed gave it an 8, surprisingly, the highest score out of
Yeah.
all four. Um, what the Super NES needs to is more fun games like this one. Even though it looks cute and it will definitely appeal to the younger player, it is a game the parents can sit down with their children and have fun with. It's not extremely difficult, but it does play well and has a difficulty curve that won't frustrate the younger crowd.
Hmm.
I feel like that's a paid response.
Yeah, Dino City, man. I have no recollection of that one.
Like the name sounds familiar, but that's about it.
Moving on to page 20, Out of This World. Oh, who remembers the old rotoscoping in video games? That's what we got here with Out of This World. You guys remember this one? From Interplay, which is a division of Atari. This game was pretty cool. This Flashback was another one that was designed like this. Prince of Persia, the original Prince of Persia, all used the rotoscoping. I want to call it motion capturing animation style. I don't know what you call it, but it used it. It's very, very early primitive 3D polygons too, which made it really stand out. It's a good game. Has it aged well? I don't know, but it was
Got
pretty cool, pretty
the
groundbreaking.
editor's choice gold.
Yeah, it got 8998. That's pretty sweet. So Steve gave it an 8. Like few games have managed to do before, Out of This World succeeds in bringing an entirely new look and feel to video games. What looks deviously easily quickly turns into a brilliant excursion into great gameplay. Super execution and technique fill this cart from start to finish, mixing puzzles, action, and adventure into one.
All right. Ed's given this a 9. This game has a very good chance to be the most original video game of the year. The game plays well and offers more than just shooting, as some of the situations require planning and strategy. The graphics have a look all to their own, something like a whole game made up of animated intermissions. Spectacular. A 9.
Hmm. Wake up. Maybe animation's the wrong word, but yeah, it's called rotoscoping. They used it in the film, a lot of the Filmation cartoons, Masters of the Universe. It's like early motion capture. If you watch that old He-Man cartoon, you can really tell that it was actually a person. But they used it in this and like Prince of Persia, Flashback. But they didn't use it in Super Slam Dunk by Virgin for the Super Nintendo. Oh, this one got cooked, ladies and gentlemen. 4. Virgin Interactive. Weren't they part of Sony? I don't remember. Either way. This game just doesn't have the legs to stand up against similar carts in the field. Although the gameplay does possess the most necessary elements of a basketball game, much of the detail, not to mention challenge, in the versus computer mode and finesse of basketball just cannot be found.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Low scores on this.
Plus, you got
Fours and
it doesn't look like you have any teams or any actual players. So,
right. Fours and fives across the board. So Ed gave it a 5. The SNES is presently going through its basketball stage. Almost everybody is doing a buckets game. This version would have been great 6 months ago, but now others have equaled the technology and gone beyond it. As it is considering the competition, it is only average. A 5.
ugh. No, no, thank you. No, thank you. Nothing against basketball. It's just there's an oversaturation of that. And like, why would you play this when you can play like EA's, Celtics versus Lakers, which has licensed teams and all that. Like, I don't know. That's just me. Who remembers Race Driving in the arcades? Looks like
Maybe.
Desert Bus, doesn't it? This was again another early old school Polygon game that this was like the future of gaming, and obviously it turned out to be that way too. But when you first looked at it, it didn't look like anything super great graphically, but it was about the 3D environment. That's what these early games were. Never liked them, unfortunately. It was pretty cool if you got to go in a sit down one with the wheel and all that stuff, but yeah. 4. On the surface, this game does indeed pack an entire arcade experience into a 4 meg chip. Unfortunately, with the lack of memory comes the lack of control and proper data updating. In the end, the game proves to be blah. In the end, the game proves to be choppy and erratic, conveying none of the action or excitement from the arcade original.
Hmm.
Yuck.
Ed's given it a 5. So this game had a lot of potential, but appears that too many compromises have had to have been made in getting it to fit in its present configuration. The game doesn't play well as the control is very difficult. It also plays slow, and there's just no sensation of real race driving. At best, it is only average. A 5.
Not so good on the Super Nintendo this month. Matt says Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings animated feature had a section where it was just the people behind the rotoscoping, just blacked out instead of animated characters. Yeah, it's a cool technique. Like I said, a lot of the filmation cartoons used that.
There's a Brad Pitt movie mentioned there for you by Jet. I have that on VHS. Cool
Oh,
world.
cool. Yeah.
And
Old
Kim
Pity Pat.
Basinger.
Oh, is she
She
the
is
female in it?
the yep.
Oh wow. Wow. Whatever happened to her? And I don't mean age. I just mean like even in social media and stuff, like you don't see Kim Basinger. She's just like gone. Disappeared. What was the last time I saw her? That Eminem movie, 8 Mile.
She's in that?
Yeah, it's his mom.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
think the last thing I saw her in was about 10 to 15 years ago, and I don't remember what, but
She was she's really interesting. Not to sidetrack here, but her and Johnny Depp is another one where they don't watch their own work.
hmm,
Isn't that crazy? So I remember like early, like when Batman came out and Basinger was on like Letterman and stuff like that. Dave would be like, "So, did you see it? What's it like?" And she's like, "I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't watch myself." So cool, man.
I enjoyed her in the 007 Sean Connery Never Say Never Again.
Oh, I didn't even know she was in that.
She
Wow.
plays Domino.
Cool. Cool. What's up, Dale? How you doing, buddy?
Hello.
Okay, on the ball. What the heck is on the ball? Let's find out.
Which
Uh,
page?
we're on page 22.
All right.
This is on the ball by Taito for the Super Nintendo. Not a lot of great Super Nintendo games, but this one got scored pretty well.
It's the editor's choice gold.
Yeah, this is a brilliant combination of Marble Madness and Mode 7. The task of rolling the ball through a twirling maze is simple enough, but the rapid changes in the course, as well as the traps and pitfalls that must be expertly avoided, quickly test the reflexes of even the best gamers. Totally addicting. Boom.
It looks fun. Ed gave it a 9. Another new and innovative game. This one takes the special abilities of the the SNES Mode 7 and utilizes them to the max. The control is precise and the screen rotation is excellent. As such, the game caught and held my attention for a long time. Does get very difficult and the later screens are nearly impossible. A 9.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. We got one gifted membership from the mighty Den of Geek. Thank you and congrats to Ned the Barbarian. Welcome back to the Legends Club, my friend. Thanks, Den. Appreciate that, buddy. Very nice of you. The winner is you. Congratulations. Rarely see. Yeah, Marble Madness, Matt. Do you remember? I think we talked about this when they reviewed it for the NES. But do you remember that game had a trackball? Kind of like what's the other game that uses it? Like Golden Tee, one of those things.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Super Soccer Champ, another Taito game for the Super Nintendo. This game doesn't interest me. Do you like soccer, JP?
Not specifically. I don't hate it. I don't mind it, but I'm not like a fan or keep up on it.
Yeah. So Steve gave it a 6. The execution in this cart is fairly straightforward, which made the game more fun to play overall. Passing and shooting is controlled properly with a variety of shots at your disposal. The graphics are revolutionary in the same sense that other sports games. Yeah, that's right. But they serve their purpose. Oh, they aren't revolutionary. Sorry. But they serve their purpose and deliver a nice simulation. Nah, I'll pass.
So Ed's given it a 6. As a soccer simulation, this card is very good. Most of the moves are built in, and this will appeal to the players who like this sport. The control is excellent, and in a fast-paced game like this, that is very important. The graphics are okay, but one would think that the more features could have been built in to add a little excitement. Only a 6.
Yeah, again, this is where we're changing, and EA starts to kind of take over
Right.
with the licensing, right? And once you go, like, if you're a sports fan, once you get the licensed teams and players, it's hard to go back to just generic sport game, right? So,
Yeah.
Wake Up says a guy speedrunning Marble Madness the other day, a game I always see as interesting but never got a chance to play. Same. It's great on Nintendo, but it's not the same as using the trackball, I would imagine. But I never played it in the arcades either.
Did any of you ever play on the Wii? What is it? Monkey Ball, I believe, or something like that, where you use the Wii motion sensor balancing to control the ball, right?
I played it on GameCube, but I
Okay.
never played it using the Wiimote or whatnot. But is that one of your games?
I played it. I thought it was fun, and there's a few of them. Monkey
Yeah,
Ball.
Sega made that one. It was a pretty strong series. I don't know what happened to Monkey Ball. It kind of just faded away.
I thought, at least for me, like the Wii was new, using the Wiimote, and I thought that was a cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Monkey Ball's on the PS2, Benjamin. Yeah. Yeah, it was a staple. They were releasing Super Monkey Ball games pretty regularly, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. Just stopped. Tasmania for the Genesis by Sega. This was a
Another
great game graphically. I remember
Editor's
it.
Choice Gold.
Yeah. Not the biggest Looney Tunes fan, but I remember renting this because the graphics were so awesome. So gets an 8 from Steve. Tasmania does a superb job of combining great graphics with varied and unique gameplay. The setting is your standard side scrolling adventure, but the depth of the play overshadows most similar titles. Each level contains plenty to explore, as well as some of the most intriguing abilities you'll ever see. 8. Woo!
Jet mentions in the chat he's got the new Monkey Ball on the Xbox, but is yet to start it. Continuing with Ed with the Tasmania for Genesis Sega, the Editor's Choice Gold. Ed's given it a 9. Sega's definitely on the right track with the Super Cart. Not only will they capture the younger audiences and their parents, but the better players will enjoy the challenge once they get through the easier levels. a very cute game that is well done. Lots of areas to explore and plenty of good, plain fun. A 9.
Nice. What's going on, Bill? I'm not sure what you mean there. Let me bring that up. Is there any reason Jay's streams let me run YouTube in the background? I don't know what you mean. Like, you mean different windows? You can have multiple windows under your account. I do it all the time. I have two windows right now for YouTube, if that's what you mean.
Hmm.
Good morning to you, though, Bill. Good to see you. Master Temple's here. Looney Tunes games they all had great graphics. Good gameplay, though, not so much. Well, this one was good, I remember, because Sega did it. The ones Capcom did as well were pretty good. Okay, let's move on. We are moving on. Oh, there's our stealth controller on page 23. Josh, have you seen this thing? Look at this piece of junk.
It looks a bit familiar, but I don't think I've ever used anything like that or seen it in the store.
It's
Only
garbage.
$34.95 each.
Oh, Bill, yeah. So they let you do that now. I don't have a definitive answer, but they let you close the app now and you can still listen to it. I'm assuming to compete with like iTunes and Spotify, because that's how I listen to music in the car, is just through YouTube. You used to never be able to close the phone because if you did, it would shut it off, but now it lets you play it.
I use a specialty app that has that feature for
Oh my
YouTube.
god! Look at this guy, James Bond over here with all his like black market gadgets.
But that's cool. They added that to actually YouTube now, eh? Awesome.
Yeah, totally cool. Oh, there you go, Cutthroat. We're going to King Salmon. Okay.
Special app, JP.
Sage's creation for the Genesis.
Which page?
We're on 24.
I'm there.
7 from Steve. Like other fishing games, King Salmon displays the addictive features that have made similar titles on the 8-bit system some of the best ever made. Don't get me wrong, the pace here is leisurely and the action never gets out of hand. But if you want an entertaining title that tests yourself, turn to the king.
All right. Ed's given it a 8. There have been some okay fishing games done of some of the other systems. But finally, someone actually made a fishing simulation. This cart has it all. Don't expect a lot of action, but plan on a lot of hours of practice before you can find and then hook and then finally land the king salmon. Tough, but the best there is. An 8.
Cool. There you go, fishing enthusiasts. If you're looking for a fishing game, Genesis has you covered.
A fishing simulation.
We are moving on to New Adventure Island for the TurboGrafx 16. You guys can see this in our second trip to Brody's gaming and collectibles video on my channel here, where I pick up New Adventure Island. It gets a 7 from Steve. While this new Adventure Island entry does possess many of the most familiar elements of the previous titles, it still remains a worthy successor to the previous 8-bit games. This card has crisper graphics and fluid animation throughout, combining with the combining that with the proven concepts that have made Adventure Island great. A 7. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Ed's given it an 8. A few more great games like this, and the Turbo will really take off. Other than the new SNES cart, this is easily the best version of Adventure Island yet. The graphics are well done, the colors are bright and bold, and the gameplay is exceptional. I can easily recommend this to all the Turbo users. An 8 from Ed.
Cool stuff. We even got a Neo Geo game this month. Andro Dunos
This I've never heard of.
by SNK for the Neo Geo, and Steve gives it a 6. While the Neo Geo allows this card to display some of the most spectacular graphics you can find in a home system, especially when it comes to the gigantic end of stage bosses, the gameplay offers very few new concepts and the range of weapons is severely lacking. Not a bad game, just nothing revolutionary. Oh, excuse me, goodness.
Ed's
Coffee
given
got
it
me.
a 7. I was very impressed with the spectacular graphics in this game. If you have your system hooked up to a stereo, then the audio will really rock. Other than this, it is a normal Neo Geo shooter with the standard amount of weapons and power ups, great end bosses, and a difficulty set just right on for the average player. A 7 from Ed.
Not bad. I feel like the cost of these games back in the day being like 150 to 200. I feel like if you're going to see a score like this, you're not going to get it unless you're rich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, that's a lot for a game. Like, that's as much as the Super Nintendo
right.
for a friggin' game. But on page 26, oh boy. Oof. Can I tell you guys something? Can I make a confession to everybody? I don't like Centipede. I've never liked Centipede. I think it sucks. I'm sorry. It's not my thing. This is ported over by Accolade for the Game Boy. It looks terrible. It looks like Desert Bus. R.I.P. Vegas Strip. A 3 from Steve. This game does present a faithful reproduction of the arcade classic on the Game Boy screen. Unfortunately, the gameplay has become somewhat outdated, especially considering that a sequel has already been made. Nevertheless, this game is way too easy despite the haphazard controls.
A 3. Ed put a 5 on Centipede. It was my favorite game when it first came out. While the Game Boy versions offer die-hard players like me something to do away from my NES. This version is not really up to what I expected. I found that the game is too easy and the control wasn't great. It still is a good cart because it is portable. It just isn't great. A 5.
Not bad, not bad. Matt, yeah, you're not the only one that doesn't like Centipede. Yeah, I don't hate it, Cutthroat. I don't hate anything. I don't like it. It's like Galaxian, Galaga. Those I don't like them either. I remember getting Galaxian as a kid for the 2600. I was just Space Invaders, any of those. I appreciate them, but like I don't have that urge to play them like I do, say something like Pong, right? Zen Intergalactic Ninja by Konami for the Game Boy. This kind of looks like Turtles, little bit. 4. Wow, wow. Beyond the environmental theme of this game, Zen really doesn't have the punch that Konami's Turtles games have shown in the past. The action moves at a very slow rate, and the graphics, while not bad, aren't exactly the hottest animation that the Game Boy has displayed. Action fan or not, this game really wasn't a big thrill.
Ed's given this game a 6. The theme of the game is timely, and when the comic books hit Zen, could be a household word. The gameplay's okay, but offers only the standard challenge. I would have hoped that Konami would have made this something special, but nevertheless, what is there is all
You got this.
um yeah, what is there is all right, but not spectacular.
Yeah, I'll pass on that one. Wake up, no. I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry to let you down. Sorry to let you down. We're moving on to Steel Talons by Atari for the links. What is this we're looking at? What is this?
It's a plane with like a crosshair, I believe.
Dude, it looks like the 2600 graphics here. It's a little pretty rough, man. 6 from Steve. Steel Talons is another attempt by a home system to replicate the look and feel of the arcade hardware well beyond its capabilities. Rated against the coin op, this game pales by comparison, but on its own graphic and gameplay combination presented here are okay, although not a visually expressive as the arcade. Not as visually expressive as the arcade. Okay, got it.
Ed's given it a 7, so while nothing on any system can ever capture the feel of the arcade game, Atari has done a marvelous job in recreating the concept of the coin op. The gameplay is decent and very controllable, although the scaling needed to make this a hit is beyond the capabilities of the system. Still a game that should be tried. 7.
Hmm. I'll pass. Thank you. What's a nice ad? Jeez. Okay, the EGM hotline. There's our buddy Thor. We're on page 30 where we're looking at games that are coming out in the month of August in 1992.
Hold on, I'm still looking at that ad. The nice
Yeah, it's
shot.
pretty good.
Page what? 30?
Page 30. So for NES, we still have a ton of games coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, let me direct your attention to the Nintendo section where we can see the second one from the top on the right is a little game called Panic Restaurant for the NES. Now, since we've gone down this trip through history, those of you who don't know, Panic Restaurant is one of the top 5 rarest NES games, if not in the top 3. It's top 3 to me, ones that you could buy. I'm not counting competition carts or anything like that. But you can see why. The game itself is really, really good, but the fact that it came out in August of 1992, you can see why. Just nobody bought it because
It's a
it's
late release, yeah.
it's a late release. It's on an old system, and it just got passed by. In fact, most of these games are probably up there. Ghost Lion is rare.
Well,
Panic
do you know
Restaurant,
do you know
Power
how
Punch 2.
many were produced of Panic Restaurant by chance?
I don't.
So that
Little
sometimes would make it a rare release
I know
as
Little
well as being late.
Samson sold under 10,000 in North
Crazy.
America. But all these games actually, Josh, on this list are rare. Power Punch 2, even that
Well, 'cause,
WWF
yeah,
game.
they're all
Yeah,
late releases, right?
they're all late. Super Nintendo, we got Mario Paint coming out, which was awesome. That came with the mouse. That was so fun. Wheel of Fortune, Super
Wheel
Bowling, which would
of Fortune.
that one we saw, Josh, at the Toronto show, but it was the N64
64
version.
version, the
Yeah.
exclusive blockbuster, yeah. With the case too, because that was CIB, right?
Oh yeah, baby. They wanted 3,400 for it.
Yikes.
Phew. That's a lot. Yeah. Let's get to some comments here. Matt says Steel Talons looks like an old flight sim I used to play based off the World War II P-51 Mustang. Interesting. Super NES, better games coming out over the NES. Wrong. Disagree, my friend. Out of these 2 columns here, like Panic Restaurant's a fantastic game. Benjamin says, in retrospect, I'm not sure why I loved and spent so much time playing Mario Paint. Dude, it was the remember the music program that was in Mario Paint. You could have the cat and dog sounds. Dude, we used to just I didn't know how to write music, right? So we're just throwing notes all over it with cat and dog sounds, making the most hilarious, awful songs. Dude, I wonder if anyone has used Mario Paint to record like songs for their record.
Probably.
I betcha. I betcha. Matt, I do not. I used to, but not anymore. Yeah, Mario Paint was great. And what do we got here? What are some good ones we got coming up for Genesis? Smash TV. Side Pocket. I always liked pool games. Side Pocket was pretty good. Oh, there you go, buddy. Look at the bottom left of the Genesis, page 31. You see that one?
Lemmings. Yeah.
Lemmings. Man, I don't even want to look at Facebook Marketplace. And for those of you who don't know, Josh was looking for Lemmings for Genesis on our latest gaming adventure. But yeah, I
Bam,
haven't
bam,
even looked at
bam.
Marketplace or eBay, dude, because we can't get anything shipped to us. So it's like, we find something, we can't do much about it. Oh boy. Page 34. What games for the Turbo? Oh yeah, Jackie Chan, Kung Fu, Natopia 2, and Splash Lake. Yeah. Natopia 2 was good. All right, we're gonna tag Josh. We're on Quarterman's segment here. Mr. Rumor Mill himself, very very good at predicting future. Josh, any of these you'd like to tackle? Please feel free. I'll let you start.
All right. Welcome, one and all, to the front line of video game warfare with the general of corporate destruction and video game views, the one and only Quarter Man. The Q-Man has pulled out the big guns this month. Kitties to deliver a first-hand report from behind gaming's most dangerous lines. So put on your helmet and grab your joystick for all the classified info that only yours truly can deliver. System Sewer Slide.
Yeah.
Nintendo has joined Sega in hacking the price of their main console under the $100 region. Well, the news of the price decrease from the Sega camp came after Nintendo's big news. The Q-Meister has discovered that Sega had their blueprints for the price drop ready well before the CES. With two new packages, a core system as well as the Sonic system, which is presently being sold, set for store shelves this fall. The bigger news, however, is the fact that the Nintendo's new specs, which include the base unit and one controller with no game, appear to absolutely destroy the future of the 8-bit.
Yep.
Sure, we all know it had to go sooner or later, but was napalm necessary?
Yeah, dude. Nobody wanted older graphics. Nobody did. So having their NES at 79 and Super Nintendo at 99 was like that was the end. That was just the end. What's up, P90? How you doing, buddy? Ninja Gaiden. Yeah. The which one do we want here? Let me pick. Let me scan real quick. Well, we got that's a Jaguar one there. This one's Capcom. I'll let you do the Sonic one. Okay, I'll do this one. Uh, the Quite what?
The Quiet?
Quite from the Sand. Is it Quiet? Oh my god. The Quiet from the San Mateo Software Group was deafening at the CES. This company within a company controlled principally by Electronic Arts, Mutsushita and Warner Communications is set to unload with a machine that insiders are calling revolutionary early next year. The machine is CD based, but according to sources familiar with the project, the entry level price will position the unit to go up against CDI and CDTV platforms as opposed to vids. I don't know what any of that means.
So so Electronic Arts, Matsushita.
Matsushita, thank
Yeah.
you. Will consumers pay $800 for a glorified gaming system? Yes, they will. The Q-Man says that SMSG best to some spectacular things to be that steep. What? The Q-Man says that the SMSG best do some spectacular things to be that steep. Gotcha. Atari's Jaguar is now readying for full out production with designs for nearly 24 hot softs now in the starting stages. The machine will take gamers into visual regions previously uncharted by home or arcade games. No, it won't. Can't wait to see the cat in action. Spoilers. I'm sorry, everybody. No, it won't. It won't. Oh, that was a rough one, guys. Woo. Whew. Quiet. Got it. Got it. Learned a new word today.
Am I doing the next with the tip?
If you want to do the Sonic one, which is the
Okay,
next one,
sure. Sonic the Hedgehog has taken over Sega. The Sonic developers, that is, seems the boys responsible for the Blurred Blue one want to make absolutely positive that the sequel is just as supercharged as everyone expects it to be, and Sonic has no plans to listen to any stiff white shirts. The Q-Man's hat is off to you. Look for Virgin's seventh guest CD-ROM tour de force to become the pack-in for Nintendo's upcoming CD system. Quarterman wishes to extend a warm welcome to the game doctor. Trust me, Doc, the surroundings are much nicer around here. Nintendo scores the sports gaming coup of the year. One of the best b-ball games for the guru of gossip has ever played, NCAA basketball, is now being distributed By the marketing super machine at Nintendo, the folks at HAL and Sculptured Software should take a bow. This game blows away even the best the big N itself could deliver. Market research, you guys are a joke.
Whew.
Let me throwing fighting words.
Matt says Coop is pronounced Coo. Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's a rough ride today. So do we want the Street Fighter one or do we want the in closing? Okay, I figure we should do Street Fighter. A tip of the Q-Man hack goes to Capcom for finally making some pre-emo Street Fighter 2 products available. The t-shirts, posters, and hats are great, but collectors should stand ready to snap up Street Fighter 2 comics, cards, and more. No word on release, but expect to hear it here first. While we're on the subject of the kick butt fight fest of the century, the Q-Man has a bone to pick with the folks at Capcom. What happened to Shenlong? Sure, we all knew that it was a Dragon Punch, but what a disappointment to see the home version omit the most controversial of the non existent game characters. Also, don't be surprised if you see our friend Blanca at the next Weight Watchers meeting. What? 6'5" and 216 pounds? Get serious, Capcom. This monster should tip the scale of 400 pounds. I don't know. Whatever.
So yeah, my reading error. Nintendo scores the sports gaming coup of the year,
Thank
not
you.
a
And
two-door coupe.
P90 concurs because he is French Canadian. So there you go.
There we go.
All right. If you want to close in closing, we'll close this quarterman session out.
Lots of quality of life implemented.
What?
Oh, I was just reading P90. He was playing the remaster of Final Fantasy, the Pixel. He said a lot of quality of life implemented.
Oh, I'm assuming with that first one, it's the hit, right? So if you have all your characters set to attack an enemy and the enemy dies before all the characters go in the original game, they would just miss and lose their turn. I hope they fixed that. Please tell me they fixed that. All right. In closing, you want to read that off?
Oh, are we still 34?
Yeah.
In closing, Jen Q-Man wishes to thank everyone who pushed through the crowds around the EGM booth at the CES to say hi and talk games. For those of you who weren't able to attend, the Q-Man chalks up mighty kudos to this blistering batch of snazzy softs. Capcom's Street Fighter 2. Do you think I'm brain dead? Sega Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The big loops and Special PAL are a very nice touch. Tecmo's NBA basketball, love the Tootsie Rolls too. Dimitri. Nintendo's Mario Kart, nice twist on F-Zero. And Mario 2 for Game Boy, good action title for the small screen. Tato's on the ball, I agree with the head Ed. This is the perfect reflex tester. Konami's Axley took the cake in the shooter category, and Sunsoft Superman, inside joke, inside joke. Actually, Superman won't be ready to review until the next show, but the demo looked great. Until we meet again,
Oh,
Quarter Man.
Quarterman. Oh, Quarterman. We love you. We love you, buddy. And we are on 36 EGM Express Genesis and Super NES selling for $99. Street Fighter 2 sells out in 1 hour. CNL controllers, Ready's Street Fighter 2 controller. So everyone look at the bottom right. I used to have that thing.
Crazy.
It's an actual arcade board.
Right.
It's made by a third-party company and CNL. Yeah, I used
Do
to
you
have
have
that.
one of the newer Street Fighter ones?
I had a Street Fighter 4 stick
Okay.
by Capcom, but this was actually the problem with all the releases of these arcade sticks is they never had the actual proper concave arcade buttons.
Right.
and they were never the same color, they were never the same feel. This one here actually had the same components that were used in the arcade, but it wasn't licensed, I don't believe.
Huh.
But what are you guys going on about the bus? What are you saying? I have a bone to pick with the desert bus ride. I didn't get any freshly peanut butter cookies and chocolate milk. Who said anything about chocolate milk? The cookies were available if we made it to Vegas, but we didn't. We have next year. Next year, I will make sure that I don't take my eyes off the screen for more than 2 seconds. For sure. Promises, promises. Axley's music composer is the same as Super Castlevania 4. Ooh, nice. I didn't know that. What do we have? The Game Doctor? I think we're skipping that. Oh, what is the Game Doctor? We're on, I don't know what this is, page 40.
Okay.
New vitals and problem solving. EGM's first installment of the Game Doctor's Q&A. For those of you who may not have heard of the Game Doctor, I know, but we at least have to try to pretend that some of you are new to this column. I don't know what the hell a Game Doctor is. How's a Game Doctor? I am the original video game medic, having started my Q&A practice in October 1981. What? October 81 issue of the first electronic gaming magazine. Oh, this is that old arcade magazine that they picked up. That's right.
Hmm.
It's that old arcade magazine they picked up and merged into EGM. That's right. We were reading about that a couple issues ago. This is a cool new little letter to the editor thing. So we'll read a couple of these out. I think these are all technical problems. Yeah. Let's just read one here. We'll see how this goes. It's from Brad Gerard from Ruffin, South Carolina. And Brad writes in and he says, I'm the proud owner of an NES. I only have one major problem. I was playing a game and there were a lot of enemies on the screen. The action on the screen then started to slow down. Can you tell me what caused this and why this happened? Game Doctor. No problemo. The more on screen objects, the more memory is required to move them around. Most video game systems use what is called sprites as the characters and objects which actually move on screen against a variety of painted backgrounds. Much in the way cartoon characters are painted on transparent media and animated against a static background. Now we get to the difference between an 8-bit and 16-bit machine. Ooh, listen up, everybody. An 8-bit machine can only bite
Yeah.
off 8 bits worth of memory at a time, while a 16-bit machine can consume twice as much. The bigger the mouthful the system can gulp down, the smoother the animation, and the more animated objects can be manipulated simultaneously on screen without noticeably slowing down the game.
So I
That's
actually
very interesting.
experienced that recently when I was playing my Army Men Sarge's Heroes for the Nintendo
Oh.
64.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite games. Super Ghouls and Ghosts on Super Nintendo regularly has that. And it's just kind of like part of the game experience when you play that now.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's not bad. If you want to read one,
Okay, so we got the next one just below that Game Doctor's answer. Sean Emery, Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Question. Here are a few questions I would like for you to answer. 1. Is the Mega CD worth all that money? 2. Are there any Mega CD titles like Sherlock Holmes in which they use real motion scenes? 3. I beat video games very, very easily. Would you think that there is any chance I could get a job as a game reviewer, tester, counselor, etc.? Any advice would be greatly appreciated. And
before you get into the answer, what's up,
yeah,
Cup Dash? How you doing, buddy? You're reading along with us? Well, welcome on in. Good to have you here. We're on a new segment called the Game Doctor. All right, Josh, take it away. That's a long answer, buddy. If you want to break that up, you
yeah.
can.
That's what I was kind of looking at, all scared, like. But yeah, the Game Doctor's answer is Answer. Here's a few answers, Sean. One, there are certain questions which cannot be answered. Among them are, is video game system A worth the money? There's just too much relativity in their partner.
Partner.
Worth the money to you? Well, since I am privy to neither your bank balance nor taste in electronic hard and software, I just can't answer that. I will say that the software selection for the CD unit, which is not even available for the Genesis as I write this, is limited at best and a wasteland at worst. Wait for the Genesis CD to come along and then see what the library looks like, and you will instantly know for yourself whether it cuts the economic mustard. Two, I am certain that some form of full motion video, as it is known, will be available for Sega's CD games. After all, even the TurboGrafx 16 can now produce full motion video, and the doc did see a few interesting looking new CD titles for the Turbo at CES, by the way. And Philips will be loading up its CDI interactive CD as opposed to the CD-ROM, which is a playback only system. Software with full motion video out the wazoo. So simply in order to keep up with the competition, it seems inevitable that the Genesis CD will give you all the full motion video your little gaming heart desires. Three, Jay will continue.
Average gamer, good morning, my friend. We made it fine. We made it back home fine. Stuffed my face with peanut butter. Hope you're having a good Sunday, buddy. Thanks for joining. As you might suspect, there are an awful lot of game fans who would love to become game testers. And if you're as good as you say, you might have a shot. There's only one drawback. You have to live within commuting distance of a software or software testing company. Living up in the state of Washington, for example, would make getting a job with Nintendo a lot easier, as would living in Silicon Valley, the Silicon Valley area in California, where you can't swing a broken joystick without hitting a software developer. But don't give up. Some unlikely cities to boast software companies are Austin, Texas. What is that? Origin? Las
Yeah, it's Origin.
Vegas? And Westwood, etc. So check your phone book, and if you find a game company listed, give them a call and say the game doctor sent you. Yeah, don't say that. They'll think you're crazy. You're supposed to call like a game developer in Texas, and then just what? Like just get up and move to Texas.
It's
They
like
might hire you.
the game doctor sent me.
Oh my God, there's another page. Okay, we're skipping this one. Although I gotta say, this is some good info here. But
Yeah.
this baby's 165 pages, so we got to get to it. We're on 44 and going strong with the international outlook. So again, a lot of games that may or may not have come across the pond here. Thunder Force 4, Glay Lancer. That doesn't sound familiar whatsoever. Romna. What is this? Half? I don't even know what that is. Page 46. How do you even say that? What about the turbo, Cutthroat? Some say turbo. For what?
Ranma.
Ranma half? Whatever, sure. We're gonna keep going. Afterburner 3, we are on page 48. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Ninja Gaiden 4. What? Working title. Ryu Hayabusa is back in the fourth Ninja Gaiden game. While strongly resembling the original arcade game, even more so than the Lynx version, Ryu now has powers and moves never before seen in the home version. The character is huge, and the enemies he must face, spectacular parallax scrolling, and smooth, fluid movements all add up to the best version of the game yet. Now, if only SOA can bring it out over here. I'm taking a picture of this. I don't know about this at all.
Apparently, that was an anime pronounced Rame.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's I wasn't familiar with it either.
But how do you say that, Matt? Do you say Rame half? Like how do you say that? It's a risky anime. The main character turns into a female when they get dunked into cold water, and back to male when dunked into hot water. Wow, that's interesting. I've never heard of it.
That's kind of weird.
I'm interested in this Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm gonna look into that after. Um, Sega of Japan is making it though. It's not Tecmo, so. We got Fatal Fury, the port of the Neo Geo, coming over to the Super Nintendo. That does come out. Well, the second one does at least. There's another one here. This Romna. Oh, it's one half. Okay, Romna one half. Interesting.
One half.
Cool. 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 We're skipping all the tricks of the trade, guys. You know that. So we're on page 55, skipping ahead.
Sorry, what was that 65?
We're going to be there. Yeah, we're just going through all the tricks of the trade. So we're on go to page 62 and tell me what in the hell that thing is. Presenting the Super JoJo, the one and only joystick you'll ever need.
That thing's funky looking.
So you have like a friggin' like desk in front of you. You'd have to play this thing on the floor. The Super JoJo is a full-featured joystick compatible with the Super Nintendo and Sega 16-bit entertainment systems by a special connecting cable. The Super JoJo features standard game paddle controllers, slow and turbo modes, and a palm reset for better play comfort. Test drive the Super JoJo. You'll never want to let go.
The Super JoJo.
I've never seen it either. Come,
Yeah.
Josh. I'm taking a picture of that. All these things that we go through, and I looked them up later. Super JoJo, interesting. Who makes it? Alston.
Alston Press.
Oh, they're the guys that make the Game Mate, that piece of junk. Oh, look at that Game Mate. What's the Super Brick? Look at this guy's right here, Super Brick. Oh, that's good. It's so good. God, I want this stuff, man. Oh, palm rest, not palm reset. Whatever, man. I got
that kind of. I'm not gonna lie. That Super Brick 4-in-1 looks very familiar to me. I might have had something like that.
Yeah, like it's like I think it might be like one of those Tiger Electronic games. This Game Mate has cards similar to Turbo, but we know it's not anything like that. Oh, I gotta find one of those Game Mates.
The Super Brick, if I'm not like I think that I'm pretty sure that has Tetris on it and Snake, if I recall correctly. I think I
Wasn't
might have
that
had that.
like the old flip phone cell phones? Wasn't like Snake always on that?
Yeah,
I remember that.
but this thing looks super familiar to me. I think I might have had the 4-in-1 Super Brick.
Super Brick looks like a Game and Watch to me. Yeah. Yeah, it does look a bit more advanced than Tiger, actually, now that we look at it. But
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it had Tetris on it and Snake, and I want to say like I don't know the two others, but
did anybody have a Game Mate? Please tell me. Somebody in chat, did anybody have a Game Mate? You wanted a Game Boy, you wanted a Game Gear, but you got a Game Mate, and you cried yourself to sleep on Christmas Day.
Dot Matrix LCD.
King of Monsters. This was cool for anyone who was into Godzilla at the time. This was a really cool game, really fun game. Warrior Blade by Taito. I have no idea what that is. Looks like a hack and slash.
Which page was that? 64.
We on 67.
Okay.
The Slime World. Now we're on 68. The next wave. So games that are coming out very soon. Phantasy Star 4, the final Phantasy Star released on the Sega Genesis. The final Phantasy Star before it went to an MMO, which is good and bad. I loved the Phantasy Star MMOs, but I missed the single player. And although you could do single player components to it, it still wasn't the same. I miss it. But there you go. There's Phantasy Star 4.
Shows at the bottom there each year of each one.
Yeah. Yeah, first one 87, 89, 90. So I love that series, man. But I think it gets overshadowed a lot by Final Fantasy, which, most RPGs did at the time.
Yep.
What do we look at? Streets of Rage 2 on page 72. Golden Fighter. No idea what that is. By Culture Brain. Old G Lock.
The name sounds familiar, but looking at it doesn't look too familiar. But
Yeah. Danjamin, yeah. Fantasy Star Online was awesome. That was my first MMO experience. I just remember watching my buddy play. My buddy who I talk about in the Ninja Gaiden history video. He would just keep spamming the same dungeon over and over again. And I'm just like, what are you doing, man? You already beat this level. Not understanding what the MMO experience was about. He's like, oh, I'm getting new gear. I'm like, okay. That sounds dumb. Fast forward to 2004, and I was hooked on the Wiz World of Warcraft. There you go. King Salmon, page 78. That's what a beautiful ad. Sage's creation. Okay. We're going to get Josh to take over here on page 80.
bam.
This is
Sonic
one of your games, eh?
2 the Hedgehog. Yeah, I played it a lot. It came with the console and played Sonic 2. I beat it probably more times than I can count and remember. I'm no pro or anything like that, but it's been a while since I've last played it.
If you wanna go ahead and start reading, we can tag
Sure.
John off. But yeah.
All right. Genesis goes supersonic again. The world's fastest video game character is back, and he's even faster than ever. Sonic made his debut last year on the Genesis and took the video game world by storm. The little blue hedgehog, capable of mind blowing speeds and incredible moves, sent Genesis to the top of the video game market. Sonic even won the coveted title of Video Game of the Year by none other than EGM. Now, the same development team that created the first blockbuster kart is working on the sequel.
Whoa.
This kart promises to have even more action, enemies, and levels. Sonic's maximum speed will be even higher than the first kart. One of the main features of this new kart is the addition of a character known as Tails. Tails is a little fox with two tails. He likes to mimic all of Sonic's moves. He doesn't quite have Sonic speed, but for a 41
What?
uh and
41 2-year-old.
yeah, he learns quick. He may even be faster than Sonic someday. The great part about Tails is that he brings the option of having two players to Sonic's game. The game will be split into almost 35 levels and will feature time travel. Sonic and Tails will venture through prehistoric swamplands and futuristic cities filled with pollution. Electronic Gaming Monthly is here with the first in-depth look at this great cart, so check out the next few pages for the inside scoop of Sonic 2.
Cup Dash, thank you. We are DOA today. After our Hell Ride stream yesterday, appreciate that. I'm not firing on all cylinders for an after all. Thank you guys. Don't be afraid to set us completely straight. We screwed up there. Yeah, Sonic 2, I would say, for me, dude, was the peak of my interest. I liked the fact that you got Tails. I liked it. It was just different enough. And it was a totally solid game. Probably the biggest pack in the Genesis ever had. But after this, I was kind of done with it.
Sonic there, yeah.
It was just more of the same. Sonic 3. I mean, they were great games. Sonic and Knuckles, and then Sonic CD. I played them all. I rented them all for sure.
I
Because you had
had
to play. You had to play
Sonic
Sonic.
Sonic Spinball, and I was a little disappointed with that when I got that.
Yeah.
And then after that, I remember trying what was it for was it Sega or Sonic 3D? And
Oh,
same
right,
thing,
right.
a little disappointed. And then after that, I think the next thing I played was Secret of the Rings for the Wii, which was actually pretty cool. A new twist, like a first-person Sonic, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and they spun off like Sonic and the Black Knight, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic Heroes, where you had a team of 3. Um, but again, I'm not here to slam any Sonic fans. Just for me, like I don't see it getting to the height of any Mario game, save for maybe the first and second game. But it's often compared to Mario. And just for me at the time, I just preferred Super Mario. And I
Though,
think, yeah,
for
go ahead.
me, the only comparison I see, like, because yeah, I guess they're both platforming games or whatever, but just as the mascot, pretty much for Sega being Sonic and for Nintendo it being Mario, and that's where they rival, right? And even now, like we got the new Sonic 3 trailer. I just saw. I've watched the first 2 movies, and we got that new Mario movie that did
Yeah.
awesome.
There's that I keep seeing it on YouTube, like the commercials, that new it's like Shadow the Hedgehog Generations or something.
Okay.
But that looks pretty cool. I've heard that's pretty good. Um Dangerman says I had the Dreamcast Sonic game, I don't remember the name. Sonic Adventure. That
Sounds
one was
about right.
actually not too bad. It was the Sonic '06, which was really, really weird because it was like Sonic, but he was like interacting with humans, but the humans all looked like realistic.
Yeah, that was a weird game.
Yeah, and they
Uh,
didn't really say like was Sonic brought into this Earth realm or something? Is he from another world? They didn't really explain it. It's just kind of strange, right? Just a little bit.
Looks like they had Sonic 2 on Sega CD as well. I'm looking on page 83.
Yeah, yeah. I the only thing that I know came out on Sega CD was Sonic CD, which I heard was actually a really, really good Sonic. So that's probably what that was, and they just retitled it Sonic CD because they already had the Genesis one, right?
Right.
X Mutants. I have no idea. X Mutants. In the near future, a nuclear holocaust rips across the face of the earth. Now, man is thrown into a time of hardships where the strong live and the weak die. This is the story of the X Mutants, page 86. Is this a Marvel property? X Mutants.
I'm not too sure.
I'm not sure. Anyone know in the chat? Doesn't sound
Dude's,
familiar.
the dude has a big battle axe. It looks, I'm not gonna lie, this looks like something fun.
Yeah. Cup Dash says they were going to have Sonic 1 and 2 remakes for the Sega CD, but they decided to make a new game instead. Interesting. Wow. Thank you for that. I didn't know. That's awesome. I played Sonic CD back in the day. I rented it for my buddy's Sega CD because I never had it. And I remember it being like amazing. Oh yeah, that's right. Sonic CD had Robo Sonic. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Wait, here we go. Page 90. We have the Super Nintendo version of Street Fighter 2. I guess they're going to break down the World Warrior here for us. Um, I feel like, not to discredit Street Fighter because it's amazing, but I feel like we're a little Street Fightered out here at the EGM reads. Um, this game was the biggest thing in 1991/1992. Even if you weren't a fighting game fan, you knew about Street Fighter, you wanted to try Street Fighter. And it was a huge deal, of course, when it came to the Super Nintendo. I just feel like we've been reading a lot about it over the
Yeah.
past weeks. So we're just going to skip the Super Nintendo one, just based off the World Warrior. Actually, the one thing I do want to see, they they added a bonus stage. I remember. I think it was the brick breaking, but they don't show it here. That was not in the arcade, so I think that's pretty sick that they did that. Space Mega Force. Oh boy. Page 892. I have no idea what this is. Looks like another shooter. You a shooter guy, Josh?
Um, there's been some games I've played. I wouldn't say I'm a shooter guy though.
I'm kind of shootered out, man. I very quickly shootered out back in the day. I played a couple of them.
Yep.
just never my thing. And now of course when we say shooter, we think of like Halo and Call of Duty, but back
Right.
then it was, top down and side scrolling space shooters.
Yeah.
Page 94, we have our first look at Super Star Wars for the Super Nintendo. Anyone out there remember this trilogy of games? They were like insanely difficult, but super, super fun nonetheless. Shout out to Empire. Empire was a great one. Yeah, look at this game, man. This would be actually I have this one, but this trilogy and the Indiana Jones one that they did would be cool to get CIB. I would love to search for those.
This looks fun though.
Have you ever played these?
I might have played the Star Wars game, but I think probably would have been a rental.
Yeah, Danjamin says way too hard. Yeah, these are like if you ever played these, it's where like everything on the screen wants to kill you, and they
Right.
all like hone in on you. So you got stuff coming from the sky, and it's like not even like Ninja Gaiden or Castlevania. It's like super fast. Everything's just coming at you. It's almost like a shooter, almost. But they definitely got better as they went on. Super Battletoads on page 98. I appreciate the Battletoads, I do, but it was never really my thing. Although I know that Rare made them. Rare made this game.
I played some Battletoads on NES and Sega.
Yep.
They were fun,
I
but
think Rare was
difficult.
hoping that they were going to combat the turtles, which they didn't even touch.
Right.
Didn't even touch them. But Matt says I played Super Return of the Jedi on the Game Gear. Whoa, portable Luke. What? Action packed. What is this? Oh, we got an insert, a Super Nintendo insert. Hook. Ugh, hate that movie. I dislike that movie.
It was all right for its time. Robin Williams, and you even got Hook's right-hand man, Shmi, Bob Haskins, who played in the Mario movie, Mario.
Oh yeah. And it was Dustin Hoffman was Hook, right?
I believe so.
I think. I can't remember. I can never remember. Benjamin liked Hook. There you go.
But yeah, Bob, he also played in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, right?
Yes. Yep. And okay, speaking of attractive 80s female actresses, does anybody in the chat remember who played Jessica Rabbit?
I don't.
And I always screw her name up. She's in Romancing the Kingdoms. Whatever that movie was that Destro got with Michael Douglas.
Right.
Romancing the Stone. Romancing the
Romancing the
Stone.
Stone.
Catherine. Come on, guys.
Zeta-Jones?
Nope.
No,
Catherine. Help me out here, guys. Someone will know. Oh, she was in War of the Roses.
Kathleen
Turner? Does that sound right? Is it Kathleen Turner? Okay.
The name rings a bell.
I trust you guys. Yeah. Kathleen Turner. Okay. Why is Hudson Hawk in here? That was like last year. Why is Hudson Hawk? Oh, it's for Game Boy. Oh my God. Who wants to play Hudson Hawk at all? And who wants to play it on Game Boy? Maybe you guys do. I don't. We're skipping through this little insert here.
Here we go. Here's some.
There you go.
Some Hawk there on CED.
Was that on laser?
Sorry, Laserdisc. Yeah.
Dude, that's so sick. Man, laser discs are the best, dude. Look at that, guys. There you go. Get Hudson Hawk, and at the 59.99 minute mark, you have to stand up and flip it.
Yeah.
Unless you were rich and you had one that had the automatic like dual laser or whatever.
Right.
Which I never did. Splatterhouse 2 ad. Oh, that's wicked. I love it. I love it. Just when you thought it was safe to play video games again. Ooh. Uh, was it a good movie? Oh, wait, I missed you, Raj. What'd you say here?
A good show. It's a movie, Raj.
Bruce
And
Willis.
yeah,
Oh,
in my opinion, it's not a very good movie.
precursor to the Genesis ever released in North America. Yes, it's called the Sega Master System. I can show you. I'll get. I'll put something up here for Josh to read, and I'll go grab that for you.
Which
Well,
page?
we're on 120.
Okay.
Do a little bit of Joe and Mac for the NES.
All right. Joe and Mac attack. Two cave dudes with a attitude are back in 8-bit form on the NES. With them are the Neanderthal knuckleheads that have stolen the cave woman. To get them back, you must go it alone. I assume that must be you must go at it alone as either
Yeah.
Joe or Mac. On your way, there will be many obstacles to overcome. The levels include tons of pterodactyls, which, if you don't know that, that word starts with a P. Moving bushes, rolling rocks, baby dinos, and incredible bosses. In fact, there are 2 bosses for each level. Hmm. While running through each stage, you can use your weapon to get rid of any foes that may be unfortunate enough to get in your way. Starting out with the stone hammer, you can take out enemies with ease, but as the action increases, you will need to increase your weapon power. Find cavemen that carry large eggs. When you hit them, they will drop a weapon. The arrowhead is the weakest and has a short range. The boomerang is fast and moderately powerful. The stone wheel can go long distances and is very powerful weapon. When you defeat the second boss of each level, you will free one of the cave babes. You must hurry. They're depending on you to save them.
The Cave Babes. Yeah, I forgot this came out for NES. Joe and Mac was a great arcade game, and it was really, really well done in Super Nintendo. This is it here, Raj. It's not the coolest looking system, but that's the Sega Master System. So it was cool in North America because it had a slot here for cartridges. But then later on, there was also card versions of the games. So games like Ghost House, you could get a cartridge one if you wanted, or you could get the card slot. There was no difference. There was no real difference. One of the worst things about this system is that if you wanted to pause the game, the pause button is right here. So you'd actually have to get up off the couch or stand up and hit pause on the console, which is very, very clumsy.
Very
Um,
inconvenient, yeah.
yeah, the Master System controller is pretty cool, but it doesn't hold a candle to the NES. Some Game Gear games were Master System ports. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The North American Master System too, because they did redesign it. I don't know why they did, but they did. It's very rare. It's more uncommon, but you don't see it too often here. But that one looks way better than this because this has like a bunch of weird writing on it and stuff. And anyway, just saying. Yeah, Raj, they're the Master System's not hard to find here. Um, it got beat over in Europe and in Japan. Obviously, it did well, but here it just got beat up by the NES completely. Are we still? Yeah, we're on 126, so we're going through Smash TV coming home to the Genesis, which was a nice port. I think it ran a bit smoother, didn't have as much slowdown, but the colors weren't as great.
8-direction firing.
You got that. What's up, Patrick? Good morning. Just stopping briefly before Mikey and John are live. Well, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for stopping in. Was the Master System cheaper than the NES? Ooh, geez, I don't remember. I would maybe not when it came out, but I'm sure it dropped pretty quickly. But the thing that killed the Master System, Benjamin, was the Genesis. The Genesis dropped in '89. It was like out 2 years before the Super Nintendo. That was pretty much the end of the Master System. Plus, I just didn't think the games were that great. Like, what were the showstopper games on the Sega Master System? Jennifer Capriti Tennis over here, page 128. Okay,
Tennis.
hey, dude, look at this 129. Here's some more interesting clutter for your Game Boy by Naki Industries. Look at this thing. Bright
Power
Beam.
Pack.
Warning. Don't defeat Game Boy's purpose. It was meant to be compact. So we've seen definitely a lot of add-ons for this over the last couple of issues where it's just turns into this big brick with speakers hanging off it, lights hanging down. Oh boy. Matt. I'm not sure if I told you thank you for those EGM streams and Retrobang's website. They bring all the 90s youngster in me. Oh, no problem. No problem. When big at EGM, we have more contests. Oh, this is page 132.
Altered Beast. Yeah, that would have been probably the home run for Master.
Yeah, yeah, Benjamin. Sega was doing ports of Genesis games, so it was like the reverse of what was happening everywhere else. They were trying to save the Master System by bringing the Genesis hits, which didn't work. Like they brought Moonwalker, Ghouls and Ghosts, a different version of Ghouls and Ghosts. They had their own version of Ghostbusters that was different. Anyway, this game right here. So this one is not actually made by Capcom.
My Altered Beast is in the other room, but I've got a loose card of it.
On Genesis? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, much better than the Master System. Anyway, this game is horrible. I wanted to do a video on Strider 2 and the Genesis one. This falls under that weird category of sequels that somehow they weren't created by the actual developers. So US Gold made this game, much like Metal Gear 2 Snake's Revenge on NES wasn't made by Kojima. It's horrible, right? It's the same kind of category. Anyway, it's kind of fascinating if you guys are into that kind of thing. Check out Strider 2 on Genesis. It's something. The winner and still champion. What the hell is this? Oh, Light Boy. It's the battle of the peripherals on Game Boy. Yip de doo. Splash Lake. We're on 134. Oh, here's Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu for the Turbo. Here you go, Cutthroat. I can say I never played this before, but it actually looks kind of cool. It almost looks like you have like a bobblehead. That's cool, man. And we got turbo ads. The Turbo Express is down to $199 from $299, $100 savings. Still couldn't pull the trigger on this bad boy. Much as I love it, too much money. Would you pull the trigger on that, man?
No.
Yeah, it's too much. It was cool. This was the first of its kind, as in you're taking your actual cartridges from your home system and you can play them on the go. But it drained batteries like crazy and it was way
Right.
too expensive. Simple as that.
That is a cool concept, though, being able to portabilize your cartridges, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You do it for 1,500. Okay. Well, I know the vendor, so I'll pass off the information. I'll tell him you're interested. No, you know what? I tried to look up that vendor, Cutthroat, who had it at the Toronto show. I went through all the footage, and all I saw was his PayPal address. I guess I could like send him a message, but I don't have 1,500 for that, man. That's crazy. Crazy. The Game Gear, Spider-Man versus Kingpin. Where are we here? We are on Lakers versus the Bulls on 142. These games were awesome. This was in the height, guys. Were you ever a basketball fan, Josh?
Not really, but I do like Larry Bird.
This was the height of when I was at the peak of my interest in the NBA. I told this story before. Like I was really into basketball until I started playing music, and then the sports kind of faded away. But I made sure I watched the '92 NBA Finals when my Bulls finally won, and then it was kind of like I said goodbye to it all. It was really cool, man. It was really cool. I know you love basketball, Cutthroat. This was a great game, anyway. Lunar Chase for the Game Boy. Brutal. More Game Boy stuff. Any Game Boy stuff you guys want, just call it out. Oh, here's that cool. Look at this setup, Josh, on 149.
So I was looking at the Double Dragon 3 on the Game Boy there, but what was it, 149?
We're on 149. Yeah, look at this setup, man. Look
Yeah,
at
it's
this.
crazy.
Dude. Like I would even take this today. This is, big screen TV, 90s style, which had the big backing. Look at
But
the stereo.
100% take this today. That Neo Geo cartridge player and
Yeah, Neo Geo, Super Nintendo, Genesis,
Turbo
TurboGrafx. You got them
Graphics, yeah.
all.
And just that TV size, like that would have been you're rich.
Oh, well, if you had that Neo Geo, it would be, yeah. He's got some cash. He's got
No,
some
but
cash to burn.
how much do you think? So yeah, the Ultimate Gaming Ring over 18,000 in prizes. So is that what they're claiming this all cost, or like how much do you think a TV like that would have been? That would have been super expensive
I'm
back.
guessing 5,000.
I want to say probably at least.
I'm guessing 5,000. And Dark Love says we are currently making barbecue right now and enjoying watching Jay reading EGM number 37 live. We can hear you from the kitchen, Jay. Awesome. What are you guys making? And can I have some, please and thank you? I wouldn't mind it.
So even on this setup, it's got a VCR. It's got it looks like an 8-track player, dual cassette tape.
That's what I mean. You collect VHS, you collect laser discs. So for your hobby alone, this setup would be absolutely perfect.
Yeah, that'd be
Do you know
quite
what I mean? I
awesome.
would take this too. And Cup Dash says the same thing. I would take that in a heartbeat. Oh yeah. We all had a buddy who had a TV like this. It was our buddy Ryan. This is where we played 64 on a bad boy like this. So
Oh,
cool.
I wish. No, I never. I didn't know anybody with a TV like
You
that.
didn't know?
No, no.
Yeah, like that remote alone, just sitting on the floor there, you would have seen that. You'd be like, oh my God, this is like something from the space shuttle. Look at this thing. Yeah, that super scope can go. But moving on. Oh, I forgot Bionic Commando came out on the Game Boy. It actually looks pretty dang good. Just don't sit too far either side of the TV. Yeah. Well, remember we were always told not to sit close to the TV, and now everyone's got their phone in their face, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. Shadow of the Beast. I've got some good stuff here. Oh, here's that Tasmania for Genesis. Man, I might be looking at picking this one up. This one looks really colorful. Look, the characters look huge in it. Amazing. Anybody in chat ever play this one or have it? There you go. Cutthroat says
It's
it's awesome.
fairly like a loose card of this. You could probably get for $30 at most, probably less
Right.
for Genesis.
Super, super awesome. Yeah, I actually might put that on the list. Oh, look at this one. Look at page 163, buddy.
163. Lemmings are here. That's the game I was looking for. Yep. I was so shocked that I didn't find it, but it is what it is.
That was on your list. You didn't find it. You know what though, dude? I bet you it was there.
And we just
I bet
missed
you
it.
there was so much stuff there that we didn't even get a chance to see.
It's possible. I feel like if it was there, somebody scooped it up before me.
Yeah. because like our heads were like all over the place, right? It's like look here, then look here, then look here,
Yeah,
then look here. And as the place got more people in it, I felt like our attention spans got shorter and shorter
yeah.
because we're just trying to survive, man.
That was definitely number one on my list to get. But no, I did get some awesome stuff. I bought a lot of stuff, spent a lot of money, and this will have to come at a future time.
There's always next time.
Yeah,
That's what RoboCop says. I remember my brother turned off our PC. This Dangerman. I remember our brother turned off our PC with Lemmings floppy disk running. It never ran again. Oh, like he erased it?
crazy.
Yeah, I remember the old PC games. You could really mess them up. That's unfortunate. There, Cutthroat's got a. I think that's a listing for you. What's it going for, Cutthroat? Oh, 17. Yeah, it's not bad at all. But we can't get any shipping. No, we can't get anything shipped to us right now. Nothing.
Yeah, like I said, it's a fairly affordable game.
But yeah, I like that. I'm still shocked at your list. It was so cool and refreshing to hear all the games that you picked because they were so non-typical, right? It was
I
awesome.
I like a wide variety of range of stuff. Not so much the common, like the big hitters and stuff like that, but just stuff that I either grew up with or that I thought was fun or interesting or whatever, right? Like if I had gotten Lemmings, I would definitely stream that and probably beat it. Um, I did pick up Micro Machine Racing, and I will eventually hook up the Nest to the computer and stream that and hopefully beat it again like I used to many
That's
years
awesome.
ago.
That game was super fun. I remember playing Micro Machines. It
I
was
did
fun.
I did beat the Army Men Sarge's Heroes. It took quite a bit of time, but that was fun.
Yeah, I gotta get on Ninja Gaiden 3. I wasn't ready. I was supposed to stream it this week, but dude, you gotta practice that game. You don't want to be like getting killed in the first and second level over and over again for 4 hours. That's not fun, right?
That's how I felt with the Army Men, but to be fair, it was like, here we are. I'm playing it for the first time with you guys, like a first time play.
Right.
So that's why, it took me about 18 hours. I did 5 streams of it, and I probably could have done it in 13 hours if I maybe had a bit of practice before, right? So,
Shout out to Retro Mags for providing us with just this awesome history here. So thank you for preserving video game history, guys. Make sure you check out Retro Mags. As you can see, far beyond Electronic Gaming Monthly, they have Game Pro, they have Nintendo Powers, Mega Play, all the kind of good stuff. Game players, video game computer entertainment, all of it. Make sure you check them out and give them some love. It was a great issue. I agree. We're going to hand it over to Josh now. Josh is going to tell all you people where you can find him. Here we go.
so yeah, I go by JP, but on YouTube, you can subscribe. I have a bunch of videos up there, and I'll have more stuff out in this sooner than later. It's Josh JP Pepper, and same thing with on Twitch where I live stream as well, and everything can be found there in the chat. Josh JP Pepper.
So give him a sub over on YouTube, guys. Make sure you follow him on Twitch. Would appreciate that. I'm off to make videos. So I will see you guys in a couple of days. I'll be back Wednesday. The streaming schedule will be up tonight or tomorrow. I want to thank all you guys for all the support this week, all the donations, all the new memberships. You guys are amazing, and of course the subs. You guys rock. Anybody who is a channel member who wants to do Fortnite, I'm going to play right after this, but I'm not going to stream it. So if anyone in the Discord wants to play, just hop on into the channel. I'm going to check
I'm
out
up,
the new season.
I'm up for that.
Let's do that. So I'll meet anyone who wants to in a couple minutes. Thank you guys for tuning in. Another EGM read. I'll see you in a couple days, my friends. And before we go, we gotta do a little word from our sponsor from myself. So thanks, guys. Have a good one. Game Store is the hottest new online gaming store, hitting just in time for the holiday season. You can find their insane selection of miniature games, collectible card games, and board games at thegamestore.com. Currently, they're pushing their huge campaign on filling half their store with video games. And that means they are buying video games like crazy. Now, if you can't make it to their brick and mortar store, you can sell your games online with 3 easy steps. Step number 1, send a list of the games you wish to sell at sales@thegamestore.com. Make sure you add if they're complete, working, non-working, or minty fresh. 2, you will receive a preliminary offer back that may change depending on further inspection. Once you have the offer, it's good for 3 days. All you have to do is reply back and accept it. Step 3. Finally, the game store will send you a prepaid label that you print out and you just ship your games to them. Upon inspection, verification, and acceptance of the price, they will send you the money any way you choose. Now that can be cash, check, PayPal, bottle caps, any way you choose. Get in on the ground floor and sell your games that are just sitting there collecting dust. And just remember, wherever you are, wherever you play, everyone shops at the game.